I'm Debbie Godfrey, and this is the Positive Parenting Pep Talks podcast. In season 2, I'm answering your questions about parenting. So feel free to go to the link in the description and leave me a voice message, and I may answer your question on this podcast. Thank you so much for listening, and enjoy today's pep talk.
Okay, so my question, I have a 13-year-old, so I'm like the other caller, I'm having some preteen angst. And my question is how to deal with some of the negative, I don't want to do anything. It's summertime. In the past, I've made my daughter, taken her to, like week-long summer camps or, camps where she goes to digital filmmaking. And we're kind of in this negative teen, I don't want to do anything. What do you want to do this summer? Nothing. What sounds fun? Nothing. How do you deal with that negative just shutdown that teens do?
She doesn't want to do does she want to play with her friends, or does she stay home on the TV, or what is she doing if she doesn't do that?
She's on her computer watching anime or doing role playing, or that's pretty much it.
Okay, so do you have limits on that?
I used to. I don't right now because of issues with my with sort of parental alienation with my ex. So I've just completely pulled back from everything. And maybe that's the next step, is I have to start limiting that again.
Okay, wait, what's the connection between the parental alienation and not having her have limits on the computer?
She was saying that I was so strict that she wanted to live with my ex-husband full-time. And so I just completely temporarily did away with everything in a way to try to repair our relationship.
Okay. So we don't want to mess that part up then, if that was an agreement that you made. And what are the consequences to her just staying home and being on that computer all summer and not doing anything else?
Well, we didn't really make an agreement. I just told her, look, I know you're not really happy being with me right now, and I understand this. Let's just try this for a while. But it wasn't like you can stay on as long as you want. The problem that I see is I feel like her social skills are really lacking. She will sort of close herself off from everyone if I give her the opportunity. She tends to be shy, and she, I think, tends to be more comfortable just dealing with a screen rather than humans.
I know, and it's so common out there now, too. I mean, there's songs about it. It's kind of scary. And so when you force the situation and get her out there socializing, how does she handle those types of situations?
She seems to do well. She seems to do okay. She seems to have, it reminds me of the earlier caller who was talking about the swimming lessons. It's, once she gets there, she has a good time, or she at least will do it. But it's just, getting her there, and the constant negative, I don't want to do anything, And I don't want to give her the life experience of you just sit in your room for 18 hours a day on your computer.
Right. No, I agree. Okay, so the conversation goes something like this. It's like, okay, honey, so it seems like if you had your way, you would sit here all day pretty much on your computer. Maybe don't be so, that was a little gnarly. It seems like if you had your way, your preference is to stay at home alone, but on your computer the majority of the time. My preference would be that you were out every day socializing and attending swimming lessons and going to camps and being a social butterfly. So somewhere between these two, let's come up with an agreement together for what you want your summer to look like that works for you and works for me. And start negotiating with her. And same coaching as for Kelly and Walt of asking her the question. So what I'm trying to think, if I say something like, if you're on the computer all day, what is your life like? But that's not good.
This episode is brought to you by Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. In breaking news, leading scientists worldwide are conducting experiments to determine if Reese's Peanut Butter Cups are the perfect combination of peanut butter and chocolate. However, it appears the study was inconclusive, as the scientists couldn't help but eat all the Reese's. Because when you want something sweet, you can't do better than Reese's. Find Reese's now at a store near you.
What have you noticed the times that you have gone to things like swimming lessons or like a camp? Have you had a good time in the past? What were the things about it that you liked? What were the things about it that you didn't like? And just start really asking questions about her world and her experience so that you can guide the conversation into a way to negotiate. Well, how about if we do something like this? How about if you do one camp or one outside the home activity every week, every month, whatever is a reasonable piece of time, and the rest of that time you spend with yourself and on your computer or whatever. I don't know what this and that things are, but that you really get into her world and talk about things she's done in the past, things she could do in the future, and get a sense of look for anything that, if it's not lights up her eyes, at least perks up her attention a little bit. Because I understand the apathy of the teenager, where they get in this space of not caring or not wanting to share and all that stuff. And she's definitely, kind of there. And so, just look for any signs of life in anything that you guys discuss to see if you can help her go down that path a little bit. And try to find something either old or new that she's willing to do that gets her out of the house. So, that way you feel like you're doing your job as a parent. And you can even say that, I feel like I wouldn't be doing my job as a parent if I didn't get you out of this house to do something in the world once in a while. And so, what are you willing to do that would be of value to you, that you could survive and maybe even do better than survive, but actually have a good time? And just see if you can help her figure that out and come up with something that is good for her and that will satisfy you as well. But the conversation's the most important part, even if you don't get to an agreement.
And I think maybe that's the where I need to turn the corner and start to try to get her to discuss things. She's very reticent to express her feelings or emotions, and I usually get just kind of a blank stare. And she's not very verbal, and she tends to be, shy, and she tends to not say, what she says is, I don't know. What do you think about that? I don't know. What do you want to do? I don't know. But I think maybe the idea is just that I have to start somewhere, and at least by starting that, maybe I'm getting her used to it, and maybe it's going to be a process.
Yeah, and sometimes with some kids, when they say, I don't know, you can say, what would the answer be if you did know? It doesn't work with all kids, but some kids that works.
I like that. That's kind of sneaky. I'll try that.
It's sneaky, so it depends. I mean, either the kid isn't too on the ball and so it works on them, or they are like too much on the ball and they get its manipulation. So, you don't want to do it in a manipulative way. It's really trying to help them express themselves when they're not able to express themselves. Because the I don't know is a kind of, it's not I don't know the answer to that. It's I don't know how to communicate this. I don't know how to, express myself. And so I protect myself by saying I don't know, because I'm so uncomfortable in communicating. And, so again, and I'll point you to handling feelings too, and looking at her, and when you see that blank stare, go, wow, it just seems like sometimes, you really just don't want to talk about anything. And, and all I want to do is connect with you, and that's got to be frustrating for both of us. I know it is for me. And just lobbing things out there and then being quiet and just really looking at her and looking for, again, any signs of life above the apathy and above the blank stare, because it's somewhere in there. It's just really hard to come out. She's very self-protected. And we know why. It makes perfect sense.
Yes, exactly. Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you for listening to today's Positive Parenting Pep Talks podcast. If you're into season 2 and you're listening to all these great questions that the parents have and answers and ideas for what to do in all these different situations with your kids, please help us out. Like, share, subscribe, and especially leave us a positive review. All of that helps the podcast grow, and I really appreciate it. Thanks again for being here, and happy parenting.